Since it's been a little while since I last talked about this, I thought that I would do a GIC update about how my referral is getting on and where I am in the process. Unfortunately, since the wait times are so long, there isn't really that much progress to talk about as such, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the process, keep people informed so that people can see what the GIC process is actually like. So as a quick refresher, I was referred in January of 2019. This is when I went to my doctor and asked them to refer me to the service. So we filled out all of the forms, sent all of that paperwork off, and got myself in the system finally after about sort of a year and a bit, 2 years of transitioning. I was finally on my way to getting an appointment with the GIC. The GIC is the Gender Identity Clinic service in the UK. It is the specialised points of contact where you can receive trans care. While this is possible for your GP to do, many of them are honestly just a little bit scared and don't want to. So effectively, many of us are pushed into using the service as the only way that we can actually get treatment without going privately. So we send my referral off and then nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't hear back from them, you don't get a confirmation. I didn't get anything from them to say, you're in the system, congratulations, we've got your referral. I had to chase them for that to make sure that my referral had been received. They told me that they'd received it, but that it had not yet been processed. And I was like, oh, okay, this is sort of about a month or so after I'd sent the referral in, which seemed like a bit of a wait, but I was aware that most of the things that they do take forever. So after all of that, I just didn't hear from them again. It wasn't until February last year that they finally broke their silence. I got an email from them with a patient welcome pack as well as some forms to fill out and some more paperwork to sign. While this could have been a little bit annoying because it seemed like a lot of the information I'd already input, it was actually really great to have a chance to update my NHS number, which had changed within the intervening years, as well as to update my name. My legal name had changed in that interim time as well. This is how long this took. I managed to get both of those things done, as well as to make sure that my address and contact information was all up to date. Now, while this was a nice little bit of progress and it was good to hear from them, it was reassuring to know that I was still in the system. This doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. This was just an administrative update, and it was a chance for me to get my paperwork in order, but not necessarily an indication that I'd really moved anywhere in the GIC queue, as it were. But after submitting this paperwork, I figured, hey, you're probably kind of in the system now, you're a little bit further through the process, maybe this is the point where the communication improves, maybe you'll now start getting confirmations on things, like not necessarily wait lists or positions in the queue or dates or anything like that, but more, hey, cool, thanks for replying to the email that we asked you to fill out. Thanks for giving us these forms, this information. Here's our confirmation of the changes. We're all good to go. Unfortunately, this is not what happened at all. They went straight back to radio silence. There was nothing from them at all to confirm the receipt of any of this, which was slightly concerning, especially because you always hear about the horror stories of people who go through the process and miss an email or a letter or a phone call on a number they don't use anymore. And the GIC service will try maybe twice and then just go, oh, this person clearly doesn't actually want our help, doesn't want to be part of the GIC referral, so we're going to just discharge them from the service completely and cancel it. This person then loses their place in the queue and may not actually realize that this has happened. So it was after reading a couple of these horror stories, sort of 4 or 5 months on from this, that I was like, oh, hang on a minute. So I used that as an opportunity to try and get in touch with them. I wasn't on hold for ages like I assumed that I might be. For a service that has so few staff and is so underfunded, I did kind of assume that I would be on hold for a very long time, and I wasn't, which was great. I managed to get through to someone on the phone who was able to confirm that they had actually received this. It was a little bit of a weird moment where they didn't really know that I'd been asked to fill anything out. We went through my details and I was like, yeah, so I'd submitted the forms and I gave all this information over, and they were like, oh, we haven't asked you to submit anything. It turned out that that was just a misunderstanding. They thought I meant that I had something current rather than something that had already been done, and I was just looking for confirmation there, but we got there in the end. So where does that leave me? Well, I've confirmed my details with them. We know that everyone has the right contact information for me now. Everyone's got the correct name, everyone's got the correct patient number, which is great because these are the kind of bits of information where if there are any errors, if the worst came to the worst, this could really, really impact my position in the queue, which would be devastating. So fortunately, we are all on the same page now, and it is back to a case of just sit and wait. But this is a lot more reassuring now because I know that things are moving, and I know that there is no inaccuracies in that information, which has been such a weight off my mind. When I was reading the stories that prompted me to do that check-in on them, to call up and to find out where we were, it was because I'd read stories of people who had been completely discharged and were now facing an additional 4 years wait on top of the already too long time that they had waited. So it was that kind of visceral dread of, oh God, I need to know that this is not what's happening to me, because I don't know how I would cope with that. The waitlist has been really taking its toll on me. I'm now 30. 18 weeks from referral to seeing your specialist is the NHS Constitution's guidelines for when you should be seen and how long wait times should be. Obviously, as trans people, we're not getting that. We're not getting that at all. Our wait times are a lot longer. Thankfully now, at least I feel like I'm in the process. I've said that so many times about this, at least now I'm on the list, at least now. It's because the incremental progress is so slight. Every step forward really just reiterates just how far you have to go. If we're doing what feels like basic intake paperwork pretty much exactly a year after you actually are referred, it leaves you kind of feeling, wow, there has been really no progress here at all. But it's why I make such a big deal about what these seemingly small developments actually do mean to me and mean for my journey. Getting this paperwork is a sign and a reassurance that you're in the list. It is going to happen. We are still moving forward. Obviously, a lot of that has been delayed by the pandemic, and that's something I actually kind of want to talk about in another video upcoming, is just how much lockdown, the pandemic, and everything has affected my journey, because there have been some ways in which it definitely really has, and ways in which it has held up my progress. So I want to talk a little bit about that, but that's for another video. This one is mainly just a bit of an update to say I'm still waiting, but I do have movement. Who knows? Having made this video, maybe I'll get an email tomorrow before this video even comes out saying, hey, here's the date for your first appointment. Wouldn't that be really, really nice? Unfortunately, I don't think it's likely to happen, but I will keep you guys in the loop for any more developments going forward. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to hear more about my thoughts on the GIC process in particular, as well as my thoughts on my transition and my journey as a whole. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a video sometime soon. Bye.